Welcome back again to Joe's Son of Boxing. Conor Benn returns on Saturday, which is the 3rd of February in Las Vegas. You don't need me to tell you much about Conor Benn. He's currently 22 wins, no draws, no defeats, 14 KOs. He last fought against Rodolfo Orozco. That was his only fight of 2023. He fought him in Orlando and won a 10-round decision. And Orozco, who looked huge for the welterweight. I think this might have been at super welter, actually. I can't remember. Maybe I'm remembering it wrong. But Orozco actually afterwards tested positive for PEDs. I mean, oh, the irony, And Benn just couldn't shift him. Benn was whacking him, and, Benn is very explosive and fires huge punches. They're all quick, hard punches. He never varies his work, Benn. It's all, crash, bang, wallop. But I mean, he does have reasonable power. Of course, there is a question mark over him regarding the power and the physical strength because of the 2 failed tests. But Orozco popped as well afterwards. So that was Benn's last fight. His only one in 2023. He won a 10-round decision, wide 10-round decision. And now he's taking on someone called Peter Dobson. Now, when Peter Dobson was mentioned, I thought, who the hell is that? And for some reason, I was thinking, this is a British fighter. Because Peter Dobson sounds like some sort of, white guy from Lancashire or something. In actual fact, he's African-American. He's from the Bronx, New York, and he's 16 wins with 9 KOs, no draws, no defeats. But I looked at his record. I thought, have I seen this guy? Have I ever seen a fight? I don't think I have. I honestly don't think I have. So I went over to YouTube, which we all do, put him in the search engine. I Googled him and had a read up on I looked at his box rec and all that stuff. From what I've seen of him, which I'm going to be honest isn't much, he looks, competent. He looks okay. He is 33. And normally if you've got an undefeated guy, 33 years old, 16 wins, he will have become a name further down the line, and people will be saying, oh, he looks the part. He's actually been pro since 2014. So he's had 16 fights in nearly 10 years, and there's no one on his record that really springs out. He's got some guys on there who are statistically okay, like he beat Emmanuel Medina, who at the time was undefeated, and I think that was back in 2019. That was Medina's last fight, but he was undefeated. And Dobson has fought other people who have got shiny-ish records, like he fought Jose Borogo, a guy called Jose Borogo, I don't know. But I looked at him. He was, I think he had 19 wins and 3 defeats. But this is all lower level stuff. And when I looked at Dobson on YouTube, he looked okay. He's quite tall. He looks like he's about 5'10", 5'11", taller than Benn, I imagine. He's an orthodox fighter. Looks well conditioned, but nothing really struck me as being out of the ordinary. He was sort of competent and probably a good B-level, it's a type of guy who'd develop into a gatekeeper. You know what I mean? Might lose to the very best, but if he'll give you rounds. And I think that's probably what we're going to see with Benn. And this, again, I haven't got much to go on because I've only seen drips and drabs of Dobson. But this is a 12-round fight, by the way. I don't know if it's for one of those silly trinkets that the Alphabet Soup lot give out, but it's a 12-round fight. I would, considering Benn's explosiveness, which we certainly saw against Orozco, he hasn't, regardless of the PED situation, he hasn't lost any of that desire to fire really sharp, hard punches. When you look at him on the pads, it's all bang, bang, bang. He very rarely varies his work. And he is quick. Benn's quick. Benn's, is fleet-footed, and yes, he's very cavalier. He leaves himself open. Can Dobson take advantage of that? It's feasible. It's possible. And this is really a guess as much as a proper assessment. I would go with Benn to probably stop Dobson. Probably, it's difficult to say when because, again, I have to get back to the fact I haven't seen a lot of Dobson. But I would say Dobson might go on the floor early, might get up fight back. But I see Ben stopping him in sort of between the 8th and the 10th, to be honest with you. 8, 9, 10, those rounds. But it could be quicker. I mean, Dobson at 33 is really untested. Then you could argue Ben is as well. What are Ben's best wins? A retired Chris Van Heerden, virtually retired. Chris Algieri was virtually retired, gone into commentary. He came back. Granados didn't really want to fight. Samuel Vargas, I thought it was an early stoppage. It was a first round stoppage, but I thought it was a bit early. If you go back, we got Payno. If you want to go way back, 6 years, you got Cedric Payno, those 2 fights with the Frenchman. First one was life and death. Second one, kind of wide for Ben. Who else has he fought? One of the Jamoye. Can't remember what that result was. That was a knockout. I can't remember what round. And Sebastian Formella, he's a good guy. He'll take your rounds. That was an interesting fight because Ben was really whacking Formella, really hitting him, and you thought this is going to be early. But Formella, who doesn't even look like a fighter, he looks like I don't know. He looks like he plays chess or something. He was real tough, Formella was, and took Ben the distance. And when you consider that even though Ben has knocked people out early, I mean, he got rid of Algieri with 1 punch. Van Heerden, he got rid of him quick. But these are guys who are way, way, way past their best. I have doubts about Ben's one punch power. On the other hand, I mean, if you go back to Orozco, he popped hot, didn't he? So maybe the stamina and the durability had something to do with the PEDs. No, anyway, getting back to the fight, I would say probably Ben stops Dobson in rounds 8, 9, 10. But that's really as much of a guess as anything. What do you think? You may know more about this guy, Dobson, than I do. Tell me about him. If you're an American and you've watched Dobson, if you're from New York, tell me what you think of him. And do you think he beats Ben? What do you think of Dobson? What do you think of Ben? How do you think it goes? How do you think whoever you're picking to win, how do you think they're going to win? Is it going to be a stoppage? Points? Close one? You tell me. You educate me. So I'm looking forward to reading your comments. Please subscribe to the channel if you're new and hit the like button as well. I always appreciate your time. Looking forward to reading your comments. I'll answer as many as I can. There's so many comments these days that I can't answer them all. I ain't got the time, but rest assured I do read your comments. All right, so I just want you to know that. All right, thanks a lot then, and I'll catch you later, and bye for now.